Welcome, horrible people, to the Horrorble Opinions Podcast. As always, I'm your smiling host, Kenny.
Okay, we're doing that one. I'm Frowny Daniel.
I'm a close-up of cat food, Ryan.
And surprise, motherfuckers. We're doing Smile. That's right. Not the, old Smile that has nothing to do with the new Smile. We're doing the new Smile.
What's the old
2022 Smile? I don't know. I just seen it when I was pulling up my info for Smile. They made one, a long time ago. But it ain't this. It's probably like a happy movie. This is a happy movie for some people, but not the people in it. And we're going to talk about that, right?
Sure.
Now.
Oh. Smiley
okay.
day 2.
Okay, Smiley, day 2. Okay, look. Hey, guys.
Hi.
We still got it. Did you guys see any of the fun marketing stuff for this movie before it came out?
No.
I only saw YouTube trailers, little 10-second ads that would show up between the videos I actually wanted to watch.
Okay, they did even better though, Ryan. You're going to love this, maybe. I love it. So at major sporting events across the country, they had people in really good seats to get picked up by the cameras, just standing and smiling, wearing shirts for the movie, holding the smile. And I seen one at, I think it was a football game, was the first one I seen. And then there was one right behind home plate at a baseball game. And it was effective. It was awesome, especially for people that had no idea what the fuck it was. They're just like, what is with this creepy ass smile? And they got people that could do the big fucking creepy smile.
Probably the only person smiling at a baseball game.
Well, depends on when they got their hot dog.
In a crowd, that would actually be pretty effective to see. Bunch of
was.
other
Everyone
drunk,
normal.
sunburned people, and then there's just one person there just giving it their all. That would actually be pretty creepy.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find some pictures. I'm sure I can, and we'll tweet them out or something. But it was effective. I like that kind of fun marketing thing. And there was a lot of money behind the marketing on this. This movie got super, super, super hyped up. So it's always nice to see for an original thing.
Is it original?
I mean,
well,
yes and no. As original as, as the story can be, maybe not the...
Is it an original story?
You want to get into
or
this,
is it
Daniel?
just It Follows with a smile demon?
No, it's It Follows with Fallen's cousin.
With Fallen.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, it has a similar mechanic to It Follows. It's an It Follows but just because it's another RPG,
genre?
it is now. Just because it's another RPG doesn't mean they're all the same RPG.
I guess that's true, but everything's an RPG now.
This was different enough to be entertaining.
This is true. Yeah, so who wants to give us that sweet, sweet synopsis? And by who, I mean Daniel?
God damn it. A doctor, therapist, psychiatrist, psychologist. I don't know what the difference between any of these words are.
She's
He's
an
one of
essential
them.
oil salesman.
One of them can prescribe medication, one of them cannot.
She can't prescribe medication.
Then she's probably
Or
a
she'd just get it her
psychologist
damn
or a
self.
counselor. She would not be a psychiatrist.
Let's just say therapist.
She's a therapist.
Let's say mental health care worker.
A mental health care worker has an encounter with a patient who kills herself and then passes some sort of a curse onto the healthcare worker. And then the whole movie is her running around trying to deal with that mental health.
What does the demon look like, Daniel?
Oh, it can show up as anybody and it just smiles at you.
Now, I think the movie could have gone a step further and it could have included animals.
If the movie had gone that route, she would have already passed the demon on to someone else at a certain point.
This is true.
You think?
I thought it could have done that because when animals, if a monkey smiles at you, it's because it's a threatening gesture. So that would have been interesting.
When I smile at you, it's a threatening gesture as well.
That monkey would have shined.
I thought they were going to do more. I don't know. So the smile demon is basically symbolic of what? Unresolved trauma?
Oh, the whole thing is about... The whole movie, is about dealing with
It's
trauma.
about you passing your trauma on to other people.
Okay. So I thought, and there's hints of that where you're looking at there's the pain chart, and at the very top of no pain, you're all smiling, and at the very bottom, you're frowning.
Yeah.
But then you get a scene with her later where she's clearly putting makeup on to make herself look better and practicing her smile, even though she's clearly in pain. So it's how even though we're in pain, it's how we hide the pain from other people so that we don't seek help.
Yeah, the whole movie is Hide the Pain Harold.
No, this whole movie is loud, jump cut scares.
This
There
movie
is a
has
lot.
unsettling camera work and noises to like
Enough
unsettle you.
Enough that I was wondering if the same person who did the sound editing and mix on Barbarian also did this, but I don't think they did.
I didn't look into
I don't
that.
think Barbarian was as reliant on it as this is.
No,
Oh, no.
This one, it's constant. Let's see. There's
You don't have a movie if you take it out of this.
Yeah, I was gonna say the whole premise of this movie makes it easy to just do that because you could be staring at someone and it could literally turn into a jump scare every time. Just the way that the mechanic of the smile demon.
and it does. I counted 11 jump scares.
How many times did you jump though? 11.
Pretty much 11. But wasn't really. See, my problem with jump scares, if it's done with a cut, I don't like those as much because I feel like that's a cheat. Or if it's a loud sound, then it just hits me. Then I'm like, of course I'm going to react from a sound. But if you could pull it off where the jump scare comes while you're still in camera in the shot, and it's just something that comes into the frame without a cut, I like those the most.
When her sister comes to the car.
Yes, that one I loved so much.
Well, yeah, that's the big one. That's the best one. Well, we open with a classic opium den.
That is an opium den for sure.
For sure. And do either of you drool that much when you sleep?
I sometimes do.
Jesus Christ. Because it pulls.
I've woken up in puddles before.
I mean, full disclosure.
Disclosure.
See, I'm
He's
drooling.
back, ladies and gentlemen.
I never went anywhere. I've been here on the puddle the whole time. I've had to clean up after my lady.
I mean,
we're talking drooling.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's just like, how are you not dead?
oyster's supposed to be in your body,
Yeah.
not out of yours all over mine.
Well,
Yeah. So I kind of looked. So this comes before Evil Dead Rising. So, but the makeup on
Yes.
Dead Mommy, I'm like, you look like you're at the beginning stage of a Deadite,
yeah, I could see that.
which was fine.
Also, I wonder if they took, inspiration from the creepy smiles in this and moved it to Evil Dead Rise, because there was the main mother, her smile went like full tilt crazy smile, which would make sense for the character without this
mad
movie, but
Joker face.
I don't know.
Got a case of the mad Joker face.
We've all been there. But yeah, we got a dingy lady with some dingy underwear in a dingy room. Does she see the kid yet?
Okay.
I'm trying to remember how much they show us in this first, because we go back to this scene a lot.
Yeah, and I don't like how this is shot.
Like the movie or the scene?
A lot of the scenes, and here's my problem with it. It's not creative. It's just one long pan where we start with what we think is dead mommy, and then we pan down and we see the drugs, and we keep panning across and we see the pill bottles and the cigarettes and all this stuff, and then we pan up again to daughter in the door frame, and I'm like, and then we snap into present day. I'm just like,
I actually like a lot of the shots in this movie.
I am here to poo-poo on your parade then.
That's fine.
Do you think in the film industry they call one long pan a griddle?
No.
The opening shot reminded me of that show, what was it, Outcast, I think?
Outcast.
That the show they did on, I forget which channel, but I think it was another Walking Dead dude comic, graphic novel adaptation. I remember watching most of it. It was good. Butthole, yeah. Kid dealing with an abusive, potentially possessed parent, where in this one it's just kid dealing with a mentally unstable parent.
I think she just needed some sleep.
Same.
Not enough. There's not enough hours in the day,
Look,
You know what I mean?
all I'm trying to say is you're gonna die. Mom's gonna die. He's gonna die. We're all gonna die. And it's okay. Hi, Carl.
Hi, smiling Carl.
It's okay. It is okay.
But I don't like that she doesn't believe Carl. Like, she doesn't know. If Carl says he's dying,
I mean,
Well, we are all dying.
that's true.
Carl's not wrong.
Carl's never wrong. But
Well-
Carl needs help. Help that only, surprise, Cal Penn can give him. In charge. Cal Penn's back, playing a doctor again.
You think he's being typecast as this now?
I'm not sure. I don't feel like... Well, I guess I don't know if he's out there going for bigger roles and stuff again. But I mean, obviously he played a great doctor on...
I think
House
he's now,
until
after
he-
his time in the Obama White House, he's now limited to being a doctor or a government official.
It seems that way. He's also a happily married man now, so maybe maybe he isn't trying to take on these big parts. Maybe he's just trying to be a happily married man. But all I'm saying is the cast in this movie, we'll be able to say, oh, hey, there's blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I say A-Train a lot. As you probably read my notes.
I didn't.
And there's Mr. Haunting in Connecticut himself. And then, do you guys want to play 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon in this movie?
With?
The main character? Rose?
I don't know her. Or wait, hold on. I did know her from something. What did I know her from?
Ryan? Rose? You want to play 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon with Rose?
No, that's the other movie. Never mind. I don't know this one.
You'd have to help me. I don't know who Rose is. I mean, I know who she is in the movie, but I don't know her.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. Her name is Sosie Bacon.
Is that Kevin Bacon's daughter?
Yeah, that's a little Bacon bit.
Oh,
easy.
Yeah. So 1 degree.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Sizzling, baby.
Yeah.
Remember
Kevin Bacon and Kyra Sedgwick.
Yeah, do you remember that time Kevin Bacon was in Friday the 13th and he went to make a dive, but he just completely belly flopped?
Look, he still did better than us, but it still wasn't as graceful as I think he probably wanted it to be. It made a noise like you think you could do a better dive.
I
think you could do.
I think I could do a better dive.
I think you would get to the edge of the dock and you would stop and you would put your toes over the edge and you'd kind of do an old man lean and try to do it, and then you'd
I wouldn't go in
dump.
there at all. That's like a lake. There's things that live in there.
Yeah, well, boys. But then I think you'd jump out and you would just be you look like a question mark, like going up and then into the water, and you'd think it was a dive, and you'd get out and we'd all be like, "Oh, good dive, Ryan!"
Oh, you're like the Riddler's at
buddy.
it again.
Yeah.
That's because
the water doesn't even know what to fucking do with you.
That's because I can see things no one else can see, like demons. Because I've drunk from the 6 demon bag, and I can see them. Okay, you can't see them, but I can.
Well, I'm feeling pretty good right now.
What's in that bag?
6 demons.
Earth, wind, fire, all that kind of thing.
Cool.
Do you guys wish all people would tell you the questions that they're about to ask you are stupid? That's what that lady says to her. I'm about to tell you something, and I think it's stupid. Or I'm about to ask you something that I think is stupid.
I'm about to ask you a dumb question.
Yeah,
are you crazy?
Yeah. But I thought that, okay, that lady, she's talking to Rose. I thought she was just going to start reciting, Twilight. She thought she was Bella because of that flannel. Ever since she's bought that flannel, thought she was Bella.
Huh.
Riveting.
Yeah, I didn't have that thought.
It's my vampire boyfriend, he's been gone, so I've been sitting in front of this window for months.
Bella really needed a therapist while Edward was gone, because...
Honestly, if she had a therapist, she probably wouldn't have got with Edward.
How did she hear that phone ring?
With her ears.
Nah, because, she has the little meeting with her boss, and he's like, "You've been here since the late shift. You need to go home." And so she gets her stuff,
and she
closes the door. So if she had been walking down the hallway, I don't think she hears that phone.
I think she was looking for an excuse to stay, so I think she was, slowly walking away.
She was lingering.
Trying to get that OT.
Yeah.
Do you think...
It's not even the OT. I don't think she's happy at home, so she wants to not be there,
Why could she not be happy at home? A-Train's at home.
She's settling for A-Train, I feel.
You think? Okay, who's better? A-Train or Mr. Haunting in Connecticut himself?
So the detective is better until the end, where he stops using his detective brain and just fucks everything up.
That's because at that point he thinks he has a shot again. So his detective brain switches
his detective brain turned off and his pee-pee brain turned on.
Yeah, Dr. Penis
wanted
to make a comeback.
Is pink a soothing color?
Bright.
Because
don't you want blue?
Part of that hospital had some light blue, but a lot of it had that either dull or kind of bright. I don't know if it was dull or bright. Depends on your settings on your TV. Pink. Is that supposed to be soothing? Daniel watches everything with the lights straight up. So how did it look to you?
That's not true.
I'm sorry.
He needs to be able to see in the caves
of Moria.
Daniel, I'm not crazy. I can't be crazy because I'm a PhD candidate.
Well, let me tell you something, little Miss PhD candidate. Smart people are crazy all the time.
I was going to say, did you immediately scream Ted Kaczynski like I did?
No.
Oh.
But here's what I can tell you.
Yeah?
Let me tell you about that PhD candidate.
Yeah?
That's the lady who played Rose in Something's Wrong with Rose, which was the short film that our director made that got picked up and turned into this film. And I watched that literally before we start recording, and it's pretty good. About 11 minutes long.
You think she's bummed that she probably lost out on the main role to a Nepo baby?
Yeah, probably, because she killed it. But at least she got a bigger part than the lady in Lights Out, who got a cameo part in Lights Out after being...
Do you think she's bummed that she lost out on the main role to a person I don't even remember in Lights Out?
Yeah, I don't remember who the name of the main lady in Lights Out. It's been a minute. That's a good movie. But
do you think the original hobo and the short hobo with a shotgun is bummed that Rutger Hauer got to be the hobo with a shotgun? And
wasn't it Rutger Hauer in the trailer?
No, I don't think so.
It's a real hobo.
Oh.
It was a different guy. I believe it was a different guy who has a cameo in Hobo in the Shotgun. I think he's the main police chief. Do you think he's bummed?
Well, that's better than being the hobo.
I think he's probably bummed, yeah.
Okay.
Rutger didn't need that job.
Pop quiz. What are the requirements for really getting screwed over by this demon?
Trauma from your past.
Well, it's not just any trauma. What's it got to be?
A family trauma?
It's
like a death or something?
Yeah,
no.
So you have to watch someone has to die in front of you and you get traumatized by that.
Okay, no, sorry. I thought you were talking about why you're being targeted potentially. Yeah, to get it directly passed to you, yeah, you have to watch the person kill themselves.
Yeah, and you have to have never really addressed it.
So that's just everyone then. Everyone's.
Pretty much, I would assume.
Yeah. Yeah.
What? How's that everyone?
Okay.
No one's died in front of me.
Well, right.
No, not addressing your trauma. And I just died.
Tonight. Yes. Very good, Kenny. Very good. Yes. Good job, Daddy. Rawling, good joke.
Thank you, Daddy. Is that
Papa?
easier or harder than just fucking someone and passing on your fuck ghost?
Oh, it's easier to fuck someone and pass on the fuck ghost, sure.
This demon's working for it.
Like, I have to work through my shit for this? No.
But in reality, what's easier? Passing on your STD or passing on your trauma to the people around you?
Depends on who you are.
I think your trauma, right? Because like the STD, that's like a gamble.
Not if you know you have it.
No, but it might. They won't necessarily get it.
Are you sure? I was led to believe that it's automagic every time.
I don't think it is.
Let's test that theory.
Why is the smile logo flashing at me?
I did not like that. That was not a good title card.
Well, this is just another one of the things they do to unsettle you.
That's literally what they say about it.
By trying to give you
That's what they say. Okay.
A stroke or whatever.
I was trying to tunnel snake it and be like, is this the movie's way of being like, subconsciously or like the synapses in our brain is just telling us, even though if we're in pain, we need to smile. But whatever.
Yeah, I didn't like it. That was not pleasant. It also was kind of jarring. Like, it didn't seem like it really fit with the tone of the movie and everything. It's like, smile. Like, I don't know. Maybe we needed some better like background music during that. Like a
oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, something like that.
Hit that Inception button.
I don't know. But
spam it.
Yeah, a lot of good people with good big creepy smiles, okay? And all the smiles are all natural, they're not edited like with anything. And I think Benj would do good in this movie. He could do a big creepy smile.
I think Ryan would do good.
Yeah.
He's doing it right now and I don't like it.
I think Ryan does the same thing I think I do, where our smiles, like, they just kind of, they're flat across the top.
Yeah.
Our cheeks don't upper.
We've kind of got Carl's smile. It's not great.
Or a bunch of Carls.
Bunch of corals.
Like Rose's smile at the end, really good.
Yeah, when you get that real traditional, like, she looks like her face could be on a mug. Say, have a nice day.
I don't think Pearl's smile at the end would be as good for this.
No, hers is all eyes.
Yeah.
All eyes. Damn. That's a good ending. Now, the patient that Rose is talking to, I don't think she should have done that thing where she takes the thing and cuts her neck open.
That's the hill you want to die on, is that her patient shouldn't have committed suicide?
Yeah, that can't be healthy. But on top of that, though, she got blood on Rose's awesome, nice shirt.
Now, I don't want to Dexter like the blood splatter of this, but she's like on the other end of the room.
And we didn't see any artillery spray or anything like that.
And it would have been like a downward, right? Because it went cheek, and then under the neck.
And it was slow.
Under the chin.
She drugged that over there. But maybe they didn't show the part where she finally got up and went over to help after she was laying on the ground. And maybe she like bent down and stepped in a poodle and it went psh.
Yeah, I don't.
Now, okay, look. We get
Can I tell you a problem I have with this movie?
Oh
Yeah, dog.
Hit me.
There's a couple. I mean, okay. Overall, Kenny, did you like this movie?
Yes.
You sound
but
hesitant. Okay.
Here's the hesitation. Remember I was talking earlier about how there was a lot of marketing put behind it?
Yes.
And then, okay, that combined with everyone that was going to see it was hyping it up as the, best thing since sliced bread. So it had too much hype. It's good. And yeah, I might watch it occasionally, as the years go by, but it's not like a yearly must watch on repeat for me. Like, it was good, but the way it was hyped up made me think it was going to have to be amazing. Now, perhaps that's on me for like, okay, you guys are elevating it, and I can't separate that away from it. So I wasn't disappointed. I guess I never expected to live up to the hype, but that's one that I don't think I got as much as everyone else that's hyping it up. Or they're all full of shit, and they're just like, oh, new original horror movie. Which, hey, I'm okay with that. Get people to go see new horror, but yeah, that's my butt there. But you weren't here, so you didn't quite get the hype train like I did. You're never here.
Except that one time.
One time. Did you like this movie?
Yeah. Did you like this movie, Daniel?
Up until the last 2 minutes.
Up until the last 2 minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
Some dumbness does happen.
This is a good ride movie. The things I don't like about it really have to do with the sound choices for a lot of the jump scares. And there's just, okay. I think because the sound took me out of the movie, that's when I wasn't fully engaged and I could start to nitpick because I wasn't fully in it. And then I'm like, at a point we learned that this is a part of a whole suicide one murder chain. And but we live in the time of the internet. And in order for this trauma demon to pass on, the suicide has to be pretty gruesome. So I'm imagining this would make the news. And
that's one of my problems is like the detectives not detecting.
Detectives not detecting as well. And the internet with a chain of 20 bodies over the span.
20 plus.
It would have been on this in
I disagree.
Like, we would have listened to a fucking last podcast episode about
we
this.
would be hearing updates about it. Yes.
That you might have. You might have gone down like some podcast rabbit hole of true crime saying, I think these are all connected, but I don't think any news network would have even fucking cared outside of a local thing saying, hey, this person died.
No, but who fucking gets their news from the news?
Sure.
This is true.
This would have been like this would have been a Reddit post somewhere.
Yeah, this day and age, nobody cares about a random suicide. We don't even report our fucking massive gun shootings anymore. It's all commonplace. Everything's interconnected. Like, someone killed themselves in this massive city. Well, I'm sure 12 people killed themselves in that massive city over the course of the week. No one outside of a person who's affected by the demon is going to...
But I think the concept of, this person killed themselves after seeing this person kill themselves after that person saw that person kill themselves, I think that's really interesting. Yeah, I like that. They could have done more with that and more with the person breaking the chain.
The only way that's going to trigger someone to notice the pattern is if this is happening in a small town. If we're in a big city, they could be a different reporter every other day on one of these things, and they're not going to put together the fact that, oh, hey, this person was at the last suicide.
But the detective, all he had to do was that's weird.
It's in all the reports. All you have to do is read the
reports.
Click a link.
Just follow the hyperlink.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just keep clicking the link to go back.
I'm not disagreeing with the detective portion there that he could have done better, but we had to have Rose start that channel because, well, why would the detective care? I guess what's going to push?
It's this job to detect.
Well, the killer, the killer's dead.
They don't do any detective work for a suicide.
When you watch the person probably on a hospital camera slit their throat, clearly
they don't check to see if this person.
They probably do they probably run through the standard shit of let's do a toxicology. Let's see, they might check in on the home life, anything like that.
You're a detective because you're curious about stuff. So be curious.
I'm not disagreeing with.
I'm mad at you as a detective. You're a bad detective.
But not everyone's going to be Batman. Also, Batman's sometimes a bad detective.
I would say Batman's a bad detective in most Batman things we see.
And that's the world's greatest detective.
Quantum computers are really going to be where it's at. I think.
You don't even know what that means.
1 second.
AI is going to take care of it.
Once you put all this information and you'd be like, is there a link? It would have gave you a timeline of all these events.
Is there a link?
No problem. Hey, did you guys think that Carl kind of looked like a bigger, fatter version of Answers with Joe?
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is.
Okay.
Who do you think you're talking to?
5 listeners.
He was so excited about it.
You know who I'm talking about. Hey, her sister has those 80s shoulders pad. I don't know why.
Oh, wait. Hold on. Time out.
Huh?
First off, before I get to the thing I wanted to say, there's too many giant-ass windows in her house. Those are some big-ass curtains. And how do people clean the ceilings in big-ass houses by themselves? They can't. But okay, moving on. When she's in the shower...
Well, you saw how tall A-Train is. He could get him.
And he can do it quick because he's A-Train. What, did you realize I was A-Train when you seen him?
No, I just knew that he looked super, super familiar, and I had to look it up.
Yeah, that's funny. So after she, ruined her nice, awesome shirt with the blood splatter on it, the ding-a-ling, she
Am I ever wrong?
Am I ever wrong? She rips that off and then jumps in the shower. Did you think there was a meaning to the tree tattoo on her shoulder?
Yes.
Is it what, bend, don't break, be strong like oak?
That's
Tell
right.
me.
You got it.
Yeah,
You nailed it.
That's it.
Moving on.
Do you think that's her real tattoo?
No.
Oh, no.
She would have she would have bacon searing in a pan.
Oh, God. Maybe.
Or maybe
I don't
like
know.
a pig.
Look, it's an okay tattoo, I guess, but...
She'd have a scene. She'd have that. She'd have
Not
that scene from
because
Black
she's
Mirror. You know the one I'm talking about.
There's a lot of
I haven't
episodes of
seen
Black
any
Mirror.
of Black Mirror.
Oh,
You should watch Black Mirror. Ryan's obviously talking about the one where the two dudes go into virtual reality and then they hook up.
I'm talking about the one when the Prime Minister has sex with a pig.
Oh, the very first episode.
I worry that when I said a tattoo of a pig, your guys' thoughts went immediately to a slam pig. But no.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I was thinking because bacon comes from a pig.
I assumed you were saying it because she comes from bacon.
Right. Wait, do pigs come from bacon?
Yes. Everything comes from bacon, you dingling.
Okay, so a pig lays bacon, the bacon hatches, and another pig comes forth.
It doesn't hatch so much as uncurls.
Yes.
You whip it out. Why be a doctor or lawyer if you can't be stupid rich?
Yep. Amen.
I mean, she wants to help people.
You can't help people if you don't help yourself.
Well, she seems to be living pretty fine as is.
No.
Except for the whole mental health thing.
Everyone in this movie has a nice place. Even the old, fallen apart place, they haven't been there for years. How's that still standing and in that good a condition?
Kenny, how does it not have squatters in it? How is it not covered with graffiti?
Right.
Because it's out in the middle of nowhere.
She wasn't a doctor when her mom died. How did they keep the house in their name this whole time?
Oh, Mommy had money.
Oh, because she was a doctor and she was super rich. How do you guys think I felt during this dinner?
Super uncomfortable. I was laughing the whole time. This dinner is hilarious.
It actually, because the guy was such clearly an idiot, and oh my God, I don't understand that. I want a movie following Rose's sister and her husband's relationship because, wow, she just is constantly putting down her idiot husband, and it's there's no pretending she doesn't. She doesn't hide it. She just fucking idiot, right next to him.
He seems into it.
He has to take it for some reason. He's into it, yeah. I bet she steps on his balls, too.
You think there's yeah. It's one of those.
And, it's just so fucking good, though, because he's sitting there, he's saying all the wrong things. He's making this dinner so fucking awkward and making Rose so uncomfortable. And then at the end, he's just food comes out great. I've been looking forward to it.
I've been looking forward to this. It's yeah.
Great fucking dinner. Because it's not I couldn't take that seriously. That didn't make me uncomfortable. I was just laughing.
It is funny because there's such pieces of shit.
Yeah, every time the brother-in-law is on scene, I was laughing, and he seemed like a knockout, a poor man's. Oh God, what was his name in Arrested Development? Buster?
Really?
No. Yeah, the son who gets the hook hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could looking at him, I was like, you guys could be related. And then I thought about him playing that role, and then I was really laughing.
I don't think he would have played it funny.
Think he would have played it straight? Yeah, but his face is funny.
I think he would have played it straight, yeah.
Now, after the pleasant family dinner, we get Rose drinking some coffee in a nice smile mug. And I think that's like the Spaceballs movie, having the merchandise like in the movie as the movie's playing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Didn't like that?
It takes you out of it because it's too on the nose.
Maybe if it had been hidden.
Instead of her holding it in multiple scenes.
It's just right there.
Okay. Another problem I have with this movie is the one person in the frame shot while they're talking to someone, I guess, across the room, and then that person is the only person in a frame shot as a reaction. So it's basically like the shots in Silence of the Lamb, where Hannibal's talking to Clarice is talking to Hannibal, but it's only them talking at us. But that's this like entire movie.
Well, I was thinking about that, actually. I'm wondering if that's a symptom of the pandemic.
COVID? Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people not filming either that closely to each other or just straight up not there.
Because
it was annoying.
The shots, like the outside shots, are like he's doing interesting things with the camera. He's turning it upside down, going through doors, going through windows, that kind of stuff. Whereas this is just the people talking is just static.
Yeah.
Yeah. Haven't we all swallowed a bunch of hair at some point?
What?
Yeah, that's why I cut mine.
Who swallowed a bunch of hair?
The other patient that she was talking to the previous day.
Okay.
She had to get taken away because she ripped out and swallowed a bunch of her hair. And
what's her deal?
Yeah, why don't we follow her?
She doesn't like hair. She asked for a haircut. They wouldn't give it to her. She took care of herself.
Yeah, and then what? She's like, why is she hungry?
Everyone's a little hungry
Or is
sometimes.
she about to go like into a big nap and she got to clog that up?
Got to clog. Oh,
like
she's
a
about to
bear.
hibernate. She's getting that bear butt
like a
plug.
bear.
Yeah, get that plug.
Get that plug. Rose goes back to work the next day, a workaholic, I guess. Like, after not only did someone murder themselves or kill themselves in front of her.
Oh, it was murder.
Yeah, they murdered themselves.
She hated herself so much.
Motherfuckers. But she had the worst dinner of her life, which is arguably worse.
Oh, if Rose needed to pull a Daniel and knock a drink over.
She did. She dropped an F-bomb in front of him. It was all right.
Yeah, but she shows up to work. Then detective ex-boyfriend shows back up, which I don't think we realized at this point that he was an ex. It's kind of weird.
We didn't know that yet until he shows back up.
And he's like, I didn't want to make it weird, but I was in the area. I had a call in the area, but I didn't want to make it weird, so I didn't say anything. So I came here today to check on you, and I'm like, okay, now
it's
you're making it weird.
I came here
You've made
today
it weird
to make it weird.
Yeah.
Today I'm here to make it weird.
Now we get weird.
And now we get, Ryan the nurse. She's engaged. I'm single though.
I'm single. Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah. Shoot
the
your
nurse
shot.
was like shooting him angry eyes, but then she flips it.
That's
I'm
because she
single.
wants. Look, he had that cute little facial hair combo, and she's like,
that facial hair works good on him.
Dude, you should look. The man can grow a good mustache. Okay, he had one of those Three Musketeers like mustaches I seen the other day. Fantastic. We can talk about Kyle Gallner. Like he's
in a lot. He's in a lot.
He is going to be, by the time everything's all said and done, he's going to be a little horror icon. Ryan, do you recognize Kyle Gallner?
Ryan, of course, recognizes him from Veronica Mars. Don't even lie to us.
Was he a child in Veronica Mars? Veronica Mars is what, 20 years old?
He would have been like, I don't know. He'd have been like early 20s probably.
A child. Okay.
Okay, Ryan. You might know him from...
Hit me.
We'll just start with this first big horror thing, The Haunting in Connecticut.
No.
Never seen it?
Never seen it. So
Watch it.
Any
It's
of
good.
those, like a haunting inn, I avoid.
Okay, but this is one of the
a
earlier...
haunting in Ben's
Well, I can
bathroom.
No.
I can understand why you avoid the second one, A Haunting in Connecticut, Georgia.
Well, he's of course gonna avoid the second one if he hasn't
Haunting
watched the first
Connecticut,
one.
Georgia. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty much what
Wait,
it is.
is that the name of it?
It's The Haunting in Connecticut, and then it's Ghosts of Georgia or something like that. It's fucking stupid. He's in Jennifer's Body.
You should get out of it.
Lucky.
Well, he's in the Nightmare on Elm Street remake.
Who was he?
He is Quentin Smith. That's not going to help you, but he's in it.
Okay. Here's the thing. I didn't like the remake, so I only watched it once.
Wait, yeah. He's in Red State.
I remember him in Red State.
The Cleansing Hour. He's in the 2022 Scream. So Scream 5?
That's not the one that just came out. Is it?
No. It's the one that kind of brought Scream back.
That's the one with Hayden.
No, Hayden is the one that just came out, and the one before the one that just brought it back. Hayden's in 4 and 6.
There's too many. I can't keep track.
And then he's in Smile.
Okay.
And then he's in another one that just came out called Mother May I.
So does he primarily do horror movies?
No, he's got a lot of stuff around there, but he seems to really like the genre. And anytime he gets to be like a major like starring role in it, he kills it. Like, you should go back and watch Haunted in Connecticut. 2009, he's a teenager. Well, supposed to be a teenager in that. And yeah, he crushes it. And it's got some fun effects too.
His character arc in Veronica Mars is pretty good.
Oh, God, you're about to make me go 5150, Daniel.
Don't act like you don't know what he means.
Don't act like
I do
you don't.
know what it means.
What does it mean?
Okay.
Because I had to look it up.
Don't act like you didn't. Anyway, so the rest of the movie is just the nurse, like, chasing him down, and
is his camera frozen, or is he just keeping that look on his face?
He's keeping that look on his face, Big D.
It would have worked. Now we see Carl again, and he looks so happy.
He's feeling great. He's happy time
The way
Carl.
Carl says, "You're going to die." Like, he just realized she's going to die too. Like, you're going to die. You're going to die. You're going to die. Nailed it.
Did you like that part, Kenny?
Is Carl a doomsayer?
Carl's no. Yes, but he doesn't know any specific dooms. He's just saying doom is all about us.
Yeah, does this movie have a doomsayer? I don't think it, because at no point does it say turn back now. Yeah, don't go that way.
Yeah.
No, doesn't got one.
I think this movie made me laugh as much as it made me jump, because whenever she yells for the guards to come take care of Carl, it cuts back and we see what's really going on through our eyes.
Chilling on the bed.
He's just fucking laying, and they jumped his ass anyway.
And they're screaming.
He's just like,
no,
stop resisting. Stop resisting.
I'm fucking sleeping. Leave me alone. Poor fucking Carl is the biggest victim in this whole fucking movie.
Well, we don't know
it's tough being
his
Carl.
backstory. He might be Hitler reborn. It's hard to say.
Carl would never do that. Carl would never do that.
Mm.
I need a paid week off. Like, if people could start killing themselves in front of me, and I can get like a paid week off.
I think you work in the right job for that to happen.
Yeah, that's true. She gets a paid week off, which is awesome. But also,
maybe not enough time.
Maybe not enough time, but also,
I mean,
she doesn't have a good support network back home, She needs to be around people, possibly.
Yes. Okay. Why? Two things. When she comes home after the patient kills herself, she comes home, we immediately see the cat, and we have cat interaction. It's a big deal.
Mr. Mustache.
This time when she comes home, there's no cat interaction. And I immediately said, the cat is dead.
Yeah.
And I was
Mr.
right.
Mustaches. Yeah.
Well, I don't think the cat's dead yet.
Cat's dead.
This is the part where
I don't think the cat's dead until that back door gets open.
But she's already
trying to find it, like lure it out with the food.
She has to get the train first.
Yeah, she goes to get the model train, which, let's go ahead and get it out right now. It's not a surprise. All model train people are serial killers. Full stop.
Choo-choo!
I kind of want to get into it, but you need space.
You do need space.
Being a serial killer? Or
both?
You need space for both.
You need space for both.
No, you just got to maximize the
model
space.
train stuff, like, if you're not going to go full Gomez Adams, then what's the point?
I think does Jason have enough space to get into it? Because I bet he would fucking love it.
He never invited us to see his house when he got his secret family.
Right.
So, his old place, no. There's not even enough space for him.
This is my train room.
She gets her train from the serial killer shop, and then she goes home and has some more wine. This lady loves wine. And then she broke another glass. It's the casserole dishes from that other show all over again.
She keeps getting spooked. It is like that other show.
And I said,
girl in the window across from the street or whatever.
The woman in the house across the street from the girl in the window, I think.
So many casserole dishes broken.
So many. First off, I said A-Train did it, because she was spooked by the alarm going off, and I was like, A-Train did it. And then she's talking to the security company, and the dumb lady on the security company is like, give me your name and passcode. Like, why does she need hers? Shouldn't she have her own name and passcode?
Well,
shouldn't her parents have given her own name?
It's not the lady. It's a Spookums first.
Are you sure you're alone?
Look behind
you.
Ooh, that's what I
That's when you don't look behind you. That back door is open. You just go.
Is this a prison rule?
Yeah.
She was tripping. And then
also, why does she have a house phone?
Because she's a doctor.
Who the fuck has a house phone?
Doctors. She also has a really big house. Did she buy that house with A-Train, or was she
I think it's A-Train's house, because I bet A-Train makes more money than her. You see his suits?
That's true. And we implied earlier that why be a doctor if you can't be rich? She loves being a doctor.
How did the alarm go off?
The ghost did it.
No,
I think the
ghost does not manipulate the physical world.
Right. Did the alarm actually go off?
Well, she did get a call, from the security people to show up.
Did she make the call?
Okay, maybe.
Because she got the phone call we were talking about. She didn't actually have the phone in her hand.
Maybe there's some light possession going on.
Okay, so this movie it follows Fallen and Oculus.
Read my notes, son of a bitch.
Oculus, yeah, that's a good call out.
Yeah, that's literally what I was saying. It follows. I actually didn't type out Oculus though, but I that's good too.
I didn't even think about Oculus.
But It Follows and Fallen were my two.
Yeah.
I had another one, but I already forgot.
Was it Oculus?
No, it was not.
Oculus is good.
A-Train shows up though.
Hi, y'all.
Did you break another glass?
That's so funny. I appreciate that there are moments where you can laugh. Now, I do have a darker moment when I laughed, and I don't know if we were supposed to.
Is it the cat in the box?
Okay,
that's problematic.
We can get to that. No, that's when I was cheering, because previous to I was shouting, let the cat be dead in the box. Let the cat be dead in the box.
Yeah, the second she showed up with the box at the door, I'm like, the cat's in the box.
It's Schrodinger's cat. We've collapsed the wave
Scrotum's
function.
Cat.
And we've determined, you know what turns out?
How did that cat fit in that box?
What do you mean?
Cats are water. Have you not seen the internet?
Cats are water when they choose to be water.
Well, it's dead, so its water weight is leaving.
No, it's been dead long enough at this point that rigor mortis has come in. When the kid just straight lifts the cat up out of the box, that cat would not fit in that box.
This is your nitpick.
That's one of them. I'm just saying, get a bigger box.
Needs a bigger box.
Do you guys ever have creepy stuff happen to you when you're listening to audio files, like when you're editing? Because it happens to me all the time. People keep saying my name.
I did enjoy her. I wish she would have amplified the audio.
Enhance.
Yeah. Enhance the volume.
God, this is so... I'm over it. I'm over the listening hard for the ghost sound cliche. Sorry.
I only
liked it because it reminded me of editing the podcast.
I'm over editing. Do you think a therapist going to a therapist would be an interesting thing to see, like listen to?
No.
Well, I mean, it's a normal thing, right?
I think
it definitely should be, you would think.
Well, it is, because like in Hannibal, it happens all the time.
Oh, another thing that's made up, so it's a normal thing.
I could name another made up thing. It happens all the time. And
that would seal the deal.
Me to.
I kind of do.
One would hope therapists have therapists they go to. Otherwise, that'd be really. That'd be dark.
How does therapy work? Because they're over there self-analyzing.
They are. Can't do that.
And that your therapist is aware of that, so they gotta slap them out of it.
Right. So then, does a therapist use therapist speak on a therapist, or do they have to go?
I imagine it's a lot of, dog, you know what this is. Don't even.
Yeah, it's got to be like a therapist is just like talking to your bro. Like, whatever, that bitch ain't nothing.
So when a lawyer talks, if you're just doing it casually, when a lawyer talks to another lawyer, it's a lot of, we both know what's going on. If you're talking to a client, that's when you want to be impressive and you pull out the jargon.
Same thing with a mailman.
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, lay some jargon on me, Mr. Postman.
Oh, well, our DPS numbers were way up today.
Oh, tell me more.
I could talk DPS. Are your DPS meters? Were you the top DPS for your guild this year?
Yeah, it's a term we use. Oh, gosh. Look,
that's good.
I'm just saying,
if this was a family guild and the DPS was lacking, it's going to be tough to fix.
The family's going to be broken. A therapist has to make bank.
It looks like she does.
Yes.
Yeah, also, I recognize that lady.
How do you recognize that lady?
Let me see. Her name is Robin Weigert, and what do I know her from? Deadwood. She's Calamity Jane.
She's Calamity Jane in Deadwood?
God.
That's Calamity Jane in Deadwood.
That's acting.
That is... Give her an award.
I mean, she's in other things,
Give
too.
her some
Jessica
more
Jones.
Awards. That's amazing.
She was in The Following with Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, I don't care. She was in Deadwood, and I didn't put it together. That's amazing.
She has like when she smiles, like I recognize your face. She also has like a little bit of that Renee Zellweger face when she smiles.
I don't know if that's a compliment or not.
Risperdal I don't know
is a drug for schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. And Rose wants
she would know that. Yeah, she wants drugs. And you would think, like, as a bro, she'd give her drugs. But instead she says, you've got too much stress and not enough sleep. And if that's the advice you get from a therapist, like, then, like, problem solved.
Well, I think she probably should have told her that she's being haunted by a ghost.
Okay.
She probably should have said that.
Here's the thing. Kenny was with me when I picked up the book on how to do haunting investigations. It's not a ghost. A ghost is just an echo
I'm just
recording.
Saying ghost, right?
Okay, this is an entity.
It's a demon.
This is a demon.
Yeah,
it is an entity. That is different from a ghost.
She has the evidence, but she doesn't give anyone the evidence.
At this point, I don't think she does.
She doesn't, but ever. She never gives the evidence to anyone except the detective.
Right, because she's not seeking help from the people who could actually help and treat her. If this movie gives me this like weird message because by the people she pushes away from her end up being safe, and the one that she brings in is going to end up dying. So Detective Bro is going to be dead because he did not bail on her when she was getting crazy when everyone else did, and so they're not going to get infected.
Yeah, the message of the movie's kind of fucked up now that I think about it.
You know, when you have trauma, push people away to keep them away from your trauma.
And that keeps them safe.
Yes. Or you can go deal with your trauma.
Hey, wounds that have never healed
person.
And may not. That's the effect of trauma. And
but it's okay to ask for help, you know?
You ever have your therapist go to you and go, if you want my advice, and then you say, that's literally what I pay you for. You're the therapist. That's all you are is advice.
I thought maybe that was her not being therapist in that moment.
Oh, like, I'm not paying you for this, or I'm not charging you for this 1 minute. This is just, look, off the record.
Off the record?
Just get some sleep. That's it.
You dumb bitch.
That's the secret. She is not smart, though, okay? Because the whole time she's not doing all the stuff that Ryan was saying, like trying to actually get to the bottom of
Well, actually, here's what she needed to do. Number 1, sleep. Number 2, sunlight. Number 3, hit the gym. Get the gains. You're gonna feel better about yourself. And then you just bury all that trauma deep, deep, deep. She didn't bury it deep enough.
Deep. Daniel, did I make you watch that Creep Show episode with me with the little girl that had the haunted dollhouse thing with the little head?
Yes.
Okay. What did that girl do when she had a problem that was potentially spookums?
I don't remember.
She got a cop. She got a priest. And she got a Native American shaman.
That's all 3 things.
That's pretty resourceful.
I would have left the pedophile out of it, but, you know.
Take your pick. She knew the assignment.
Yeah, she understood the assignment.
Rose never, maybe it's because she's, you know, a psychiatrist, so she's going to think this is all some sort of mental thing.
She's in a rough place before anything even happened.
Yeah, A-Train. He's onto the drugs.
He's on that, was it the blue?
The blue? I wanted to say the V.
The V? Yeah, he's on V.
Yeah.
I have an important question. When is the...
Who's A-Train?
Who's A-Train?
Yeah, well, I didn't want to let... I have no idea who you're talking about, but that's fine. My question is, when's the last time you shouted at a movie to let the dead cat be in the box? Can you remember the last time you just shouted?
I think I've definitely done it before.
Yeah?
Which is weird.
And did you get what you wanted?
Wait, I think it was in 7.
Let the head be in the box. Let the head be in the box.
What's funny is the first time I watched this, I wasn't even thinking about the cat being in the box. Not at all.
Okay.
But I'm thinking she's mentally, like, the mental trauma, and she's wrapping this present, and I immediately go to Christmas Vacation, where the old aunt wrapped up their live cat in the box.
Yeah.
And so when I did start to think about the cat in the box, it wasn't a dead cat in a box. It was like she wrapped up something fucking stupid in the box, or like it's a cat, but like not dead. And then they pulled out the cat and go, oh yeah, the fucking cat was missing.
We think she even ever bought a train?
Well, it was in a train box.
It was just in a box.
There was the train box.
It didn't have a train logo on it. That's a good question, Daniel. But listen to this. Hear me out. Why did the mustache feel so out of place at the funeral?
Oh God. Why, Dad?
Because it was the only one who couldn't shave its condolences.
that a
And
thing
that's the end of our episode.
That's my dead mustache
Shut up, hold
joke.
on. Is that a thing, shaving your condolences? Or is that a play on sharing? I don't understand.
I asked chatbot thing to make
your
me.
chatbot did that?
Oh, God.
That's
was
right.
like,
That's the one thing chatbot can't do is humor.
I need a dead mustache joke, and I just can't come up with one. What have you got for me?
Chatbot, should I buy Twitter?
Look, read the room. That's all I'm telling Rose.
Rose is not having
Read the
a
room.
good moment here.
And then she freaking WWE's through that glass table.
Oh,
And
man.
then she's...
Pay-per-view
Okay,
views
her
through the
scream?
roof.
It's not like she's like hurt. She's mad.
Well, she's like embarrassed, and they're like, that made me uncomfortable. Her scream there, like she's...
It was
but
good.
Also, notice... Okay, yeah, everyone's pissed about the cat in the box.
Sure.
Rightfully
Pissed,
so.
surprised.
I would have thought quickly on my feet, though. I'm like, oh shit, I meant to bury that. My bad. I forgot I used that box. I've
That's
been a
the
little
wrong
stressed.
box.
That's
I was going to
But
bury
anyway.
this one. Yeah, okay.
I'm sorry, this is for a different birthday party.
For the goth girl down the street.
Yeah.
my wrong person.
This is for Melissa.
Nobody fucking reacts to help. That's all we get. She drops in there. She's got shards of glass in her fucking arm.
Well, I
Kenny.
mean, everyone's in shock. You've just seen a kid pull a dead cat out of a box.
Grow up. We see that all the time.
I ain't never seen that.
As one of the older detectives said, at this point, she's a head case, okay?
She is a head case. You know what really sucks, though?
Having glass in your
When
arm.
you go to the... Well, yeah. You go to the ER, and your fucking boss walks in.
So it only sucks because she's trying to hide.
Yeah.
Probably should have gone to a different hospital then and not the one she works at.
I'm just saying, though, that scream. The drinking game for this movie, though, is every time Rose breaks something that's glass, you have to take a shot.
I didn't think about that. Okay, so we got 2 glass cup, 1 glass table.
Is there anything else?
Do we stop drinking?
Should.
That's not good for you. Every time you drink, that's a chance for your cells to mutate and for you to give you cancer.
Did she break any glass in the house at the end?
No.
There's no glass.
No glass. Well,
Well, she broke the lantern over the monster's face.
drink.
That's at the end. So it's at this point that her fiance A-Train takes her home in the car, and he's like, she's all like explaining everything. I've been cursed. There's a demon. Or does she say that? Or
I'm not crazy!
Oh, she says she's been seeing things, but she's not crazy. And then he brings up, mental illness is hereditary. And I'm like, great
Why
movie.
would you say that?
Great movie.
Great movie.
Great
Thanks. No
movie.
notes.
Movie of
No
the year.
notes.
My top movie. No notes. Great movie.
Look, I don't...
And I'm like,
He's not...
let's talk about personal privacy. Is he okay for... well, you're doing an internet
He's
search
not
on mental illness
wrong.
issues, right?
Yeah.
It'd be different if you
yeah.
like snuck into her medical records and looked at it. This stuff, she's just volunteering.
Yes. He's wrong for saying it that way in that moment, but he's not wrong in feeling like he needs to know what he's getting into. But then that also opens Pandora's box of, how much research do you do on the person you're intending to spend the rest of your life with?
Oh, I have their entire DNA sequence mapped.
Oh, you take the glass after the first date and you swab the thing and you send off the sample?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he says...
So I'm going to find out if there's secret frog DNA in there and that they are, in fact, a 35-foot tall plesiosaur.
Watch your mouth.
Yeah.
I'll know.
My form is pretty intense, too. I got to check off boxes like, did you laugh at my joke? Will you let me watch anime? Okay.
Uh-huh. Oh, that's it?
Oh, we have to watch Tootsie 20 times? Okay, let's do that.
You're a big fan of white chicks?
You're a big fan of white chicks?
There's a theme. There is a theme.
I didn't realize that was a deal breaker, but I don't know.
I'm thinking about it. She gets all mad, yeah, because he's like, well, I have a right to know what I'm attaching myself to. And I'm like, you shouldn't have said it that way. And maybe not ever.
During the psychotic break is not when you should bring that up.
Like, if you care about the person, you got to kind of be supportive. You guys can go unpack all this together, maybe in a group therapy session.
Also, I don't know why she didn't want him to go in the house. Like, you're going in the same house.
Did you kill Mustache?
Why, it's quite obvious she did.
He doesn't seem like he's actually in that house all that often, though. Like, he's there occasionally.
He's at work,
He's always at work. He's saving lives. A-Train.
Well, he's not a doctor. We don't know what he is. Oh, you're saying he's A-Train, right?
He's A-Train.
Right.
But now
A-Train
it's
didn't
time,
really save lives. He kind of exploded that one.
right off the bat. But now
Right
it's
off the
time for
bat.
research and spookums. Now tell me something, fellas. In general, would you do this? But also, if you know spookums has happened, would you sit in your bedroom, well lit, and then have the door open into a long hallway with no lights on, where it is the pitch black dark of the asshole of hell staring right back at you?
Well, when I look into Beelzebub's butt, I like to.
I wish
blow
that it
kisses.
was bleached.
Yes,
Huh.
I think I'm not going to fault her for that because she's got a focus, and the focus is not let me turn all the lights on. I mean, they didn't do that in Paranormal Activity. So come on,
And look what happened to them.
that's true. You're right. We should turn all the lights on.
She hears the voice. She knows the enemy is there, and then she turns the lights out.
Yeah, at that point she says, "This is in my head. I'm not dealing with you, Mom, because it's Rose." And then she literally, she rolls over and we see Mommy standing in the doorway, but she doesn't see it. She's not fucking looking.
And she's got her protective blanket on.
Yeah,
That's true.
well, yeah, it's...
This is the thing. If
I
something
just-
bad happens or you break something, you just go to sleep and it doesn't matter.
You just go to sleep.
That's true. The problem takes care of itself.
It doesn't even have to be supernatural. If I'm in a situation where there's a long hallway right outside my door and I cannot see down it because
Yeah.
it is pitch black, I am shutting the door.
Well, that's you being a scourge.
That's you.
That's me being practical.
Well, you can shut it so you can save costs on
okay.
AC and heat and stuff.
That's true. Daniel, when you get to live in your house again, when you go sleep in your room up there, do you lock your door?
Yes.
Okay,
Okay, that's funny.
I do.
I do. Because
wait.
I live alone.
I did.
By this,
I don't
I'm a
do it
young-
now.
you mean you lock
I'm a
you would-
young woman living alone, and I don't feel safe, so I lock
we're
my
talking
door.
we're talking the bedroom
the
door,
bedroom
right?
door.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
front door. I get that.
Those are all
Obviously.
locked too, but if someone breaks in, I won't know.
Okay.
That's why I got to keep the door locked
Uh,
with the katana behind it,
I mean,
ready to go.
It could also be there are many ways into the lake house without needing keys or effort. So
Yeah, that's good.
locking
Let's
the
get that
bedroom-
in. Let's get that info out there.
Yeah,
you got your protective squirrel. Don't worry about it.
that's fine. But like, yeah,
I think
no.
a hawk ate him.
If someone's breaking into my house, I don't want them to be able to easily get further to me.
You want to make it difficult.
I understand. It's
Oh,
like
now Kim's complaining about the time she came into the house at like 1 a.m. and then knocks on my bedroom door and doesn't say anything when I wake up groggy and go, "Who is it?" and just keeps knocking, and she gets mad that I don't go answer the door because she doesn't tell me who it is.
Nah,
That's on her.
I'm going bro.
Yeah, that's on-
I'm going
Daniel
with
says
bros
that's
on
on
this
you.
one. Yeah. I think
You didn't answer. How am I supposed to react? That's
that
creepy
could
as
have
shit.
been that could have been a monster.
that could have
It
been.
was a monster. It was Kim. And also, I thought it was your mother too, and I really wasn't
That
going
would
to
have
answer
been
the door
worse.
because she was in the basement. I think it was Christmas Eve because I wasn't expecting. She wasn't supposed to be there. She ended up having something change, and then she was able to come down. And she drove down and popped up. Surprise! 1 a.m. and then just knock on the door. Who is it? Nothing. Nothing.
Well, it was nothing. Then go back to bed.
Well, she kept knocking.
Just do what Rose does. Ignore it. Roll over. Pull the covers up. You're good to
Roll
go.
over. Do the covers protect you from fire?
A fire blanket would smother the
Like,
fire, but I don't think it would
like if
help
I
you.
notice there's a fire, can I just get under my
No,
safety blanket?
you should not try to sleep your way through that one.
Okay.
Well, you should have went to sleep after that car entered the house.
Yeah,
That
probably.
would have been a good time to go to sleep. That would have been
No,
classic
ma'am.
Daniel.
I don't speak Spanish, but you have a great rest of your day.
Let yourselves out just like you let yourselves in.
You know the way. Oh, Lord. So what do we got? The next morning, she's with
She's with
one of Scrubs's. She's with one of the Scrubs.
Yeah, she's with Detective Bro, right?
No. She goes and sees Scrubs lady. She's with, what's her name?
No.
The wife
I think
of the professor.
She had to find. I think she had to get the information to find him first, didn't she?
Judy Reyes. No. Yeah, Judy Reyes. She was Carla on Scrubs.
That information she was able to get off the internet.
If you're able to get
She
that
just
off the
Googled-
internet,
she just-
then Reddit has already got the chain for
She
you.
just Googled the professor, so.
Reddit is modern day Wikipedia, Only they're definitely accurate. It's not a trusted resource.
Okay, so
You
here's...
can't cite Reddit sources.
But apparently you can... Yeah, well, this is where I don't know if the movie intended me to laugh, but I just uncontrollably laughed, is when Mrs. Munez is all crying and be like, and after he hit himself, and the police, they made me identify the body, and then they do a quick cut to like him at the morgue, and they pull the sheet down, and his jaw is broken, and you can see just how long his tongue is, but it's curled up like it's licking the side of his face like a cow. And all I could think of was the cops just laughing to each other about how they were going to show this new widow this awful... Because there's no reason. There's absolutely no reason to have to show her
she has
this.
to identify the body.
But I think they positioned the tongue. I don't think that's where it was naturally. And that thought made me laugh for 5 minutes.
Okay, is that one of those movie things, though? Like, if they clearly could tell, like, who the body is, you don't have to have someone come and ID the body if you absolutely know who it is.
And
do you?
Do you have to have them look like that?
Do you subject the widow to that?
That's my thing. Is there no one else who could do this? You gotta have Mrs. Munez come over and see, oh, look, my husband can lick his eyeball now.
That's his tongue. That's why I married him.
Those cops. Oh my gosh. They're joking you, lady. Practical jokers right here.
We got her. So she goes, she gets she pumps her for some info, and then she shows up at ex-cop house apartment. And
well, no, he's still a cop, but he's a...
Oh, sorry, her ex-boyfriend cop.
Yeah, it's his day off.
Yeah.
So, hear me out.
It's 1 day off.
Hear me out. So she's using him
Yeah.
to get info because he's a cop. He's got access to this stuff. Do you think there's someone out there in the real world today who has gone around collecting a bunch of useful exes?
Oh,
like
100%.
Pokemon? Like, yeah, I got a cop ex-boyfriend, I got a doctor ex-boyfriend, I got a lawyer ex-boyfriend. Yeah, or girlfriend. It could be either way. And, like, you stay on good enough terms with them, or they're still so thirsty they want to get back at you.
Sure.
Yeah, you got a useful... I guess other people...
I think that's just practical.
I think other people would...
Yeah, I think that's just a big Catholic family.
At this point, I'm thinking that's probably what people have friends for, maybe.
I guess
that's what friends are for. You pick your friends based on what skills they have.
Yeah, sure. You're like, okay, I know I'm going to get in trouble. I gotta get in on a cop friend. Okay, you know what? Look at me. I'm eating McDonald's every day. I need a chef friend. Okay.
You know what? I probably go into jail. Need a bail bondsman.
Legit. Absolutely. Make sure you give them M&Ms every year.
Every year. Was that a lawyer thing?
That's what we did. We would give some of the bail bondsmen. We'd drop like M&Ms out to them. We'd give them to the staff, like the transportation staff, who would take the inmates from the jail, from prison to the jail to the courthouse. We'd make sure they get a treat. We'd try to treat the courthouse staff.
I bet they would have preferred like a tip, like money, rather than
that comes off as weird.
5 M&Ms.
No, it was a box. No, it was
a bag of M&Ms. Doesn't
Club's M&M. No, that's just food.
You start giving them money, an Amazon gift card.
That seems weirder to me.
Because look, the M&Ms can melt, but they have the hard shell that keeps it inside.
You're just bribing a guy with M&Ms.
I'm trying to see what he gets out of all these people as a lawyer. Like, hey, when you're taking this person to jail, let them know about us.
Punch him in the stomach.
No, what they'll do is they'll tip you off if your client was having a particularly hard day, like they're really agitated, that kind of stuff. He may have
murdered his wife.
Or
he may have done a murder.
By the way, they're a talky Nancy. They've just been talking the whole time. You might tell them to shut up.
So what I'm hearing is don't trust your bail. Got it.
I mean, you do right, they do right.
Hey, if you don't talk,
you might walk. Confessions are good for the soul, bad for your case.
It's Shut the Fuck Up Friday.
Shut the fuck up Friday. Make yourself at home, A-Train.
Well, he does live there. I don't know why
I have that note there.
It's because he brings in the OG therapist, and she's there when Rose gets there, so she's getting ambushed. She's getting therapy ambush.
Yeah, nobody likes that, especially a therapist.
I think I would like that.
You want some ambush therapy?
If it just came out of nowhere, yeah.
Yeah, because you're not going to go do it yourself?
Well, because I've never been in therapy, so whoa, this is new.
You're in one. So then we go back to the sister's house, and shitty husband answers the door, and he's actually trying to be stand up, which I don't think he's ever liked Rose.
Do you think he's on his tippy toes to try and appear taller than he is?
He's a big man. He's a big man. And it's like, I don't think you should be here, Rose. I don't think you should talk to her. And the sister shows up, and she's all kind of like standing behind her. And
she
seems
yanks
like
on his leash, and he gets pulled back in the house.
Well, at first it seems like she's like, yeah, he's right, like standing back there. And then she's like, fucking idiot. Like, I gotta remind myself, he's a fucking idiot. You're a fucking idiot. Get back inside. And she shuts the door, and I think she even says, like, fuck it. And I'm just like, I'm starting to feel bad for him now.
Think of the trauma he has.
And then
Well, then again,
Rose,
we've established he likes it.
He's into it.
He's
getting something out of this.
Yeah, he had to run upstairs to his room to take care of something after that.
We've all been there. Then it turns out Rose, she's woke now. That's what happens when you get woke.
What?
What?
She's awake now. She can see it.
Oh,
it's a death curse.
Her eyes.
She's woke.
You're using the literal definition of woke. I understand. Okay.
Is there another one?
I thought she was gonna call out like
somehow this demon represented systemic racism or something. I don't know.
Systemic racism.
Yeah, it's no longer go woke, go broke. It's go woke, get a death curse.
You notice how the black guy was the only guy the demon didn't kill? What up with that demon?
Well, he was also the only one wise enough to just like, okay, look, I know we're together, but I ain't trying to,
Yeah, by rejecting her in a time of need, he saves himself.
That's right.
Well, I was talking about the guy in prison.
Oh,
we can get to that as well.
We will get to that, but we can't skip over what's about to happen after she finishes alienating everyone when she goes back to her car. Who wants to break down this fantastic little moment?
How do you describe this? So as she finishes the conversation with her sister, she's like, it's a demon. There's a death chain. It's all here. And her sister she's like, this is exactly what happened to Mom. I can't deal with this.
I'm sorry I left you, but I had to get out of there because I was the focus of the trauma. So I guess she's the bigger sister.
Yeah, she's the older sister, and she ditched at some point and left little sister there who, okay. Door closes. Rose goes into the car. Now this shot, beautiful. We just got Rose, and in the background, we see sister's torso come out of the house, walk towards the car, and then do a rapid knock on the glass. And Daniel, how would you describe what happens next?
Kind of like a long, I'm in my head, I'm like seeing like a long clown head kind of thing.
Like Earthworm Jim?
It just kind of swings down like a pendulum. Her head swings down like a pendulum.
Yeah. You know those...
slams against
those like straws that you can extend? They're like kind of crunchy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her head slinkies.
Yes,
down.
very good.
If you took a Stretch Armstrong and stretched the head straight up and the material stayed in there instead of retracting back, and then you just let it drop, it would just flip down like a pendulum on a grandfather clock. And that's...
So you expect her to be coming out there to like apologize or say something else.
But they smartly make sure you can't see her head.
Yeah.
Because the way the camera is in the car, it cuts off the top of her torso. And so she's just standing right next to the door when this happens. And Rose is like, sister, Holly. Like, oh. And then, flip, head dangling right down at you. It is so jarring. It is so great. She starts screaming. Then we cut back to the house, and little nephew is like watching his aunt freak out from the window.
Who's already traumatized because of the cat.
That kid is fucked. I was like, yes, watch your aunt closely, little buddy. And then the next scene is her like sitting in her car at night outside some like red neon lights, just smashing this massive fucking burger. And we've all been Rose.
Yeah, Kenny, that's exactly it. I'm like, yep, been there.
That harkens me back to simpler times when Daniel and I ate that pizza in the church parking lot trying to take over that Pokemon gym.
Ooh.
Pizza quick. You were a real one.
Is it time to visit Tally?
Yes, we're going to see Mr. Tally. My next note was, I think you're wrong, Cop X. It will happen to her. Oh, yeah. He says it's not going to happen to her. And then he's like, yeah, you got to take me to go see this guy, Mr. Tally, and find out how he survived. Because we found out Mr. Tally did some shenanigans at a gas station.
I'm not sure what he killed a woman. I don't remember how he did it, but I
thought he was at the gas station. The video for the gas station was around that.
No, but that wasn't him. This is like further earlier in the chain.
Yeah, okay. Well, Mr. Tally punched a ghost. That's how he survived. That's how Mike, the headcanon is. He just punched it. That's good. It's fine.
Got to.
You got to punch a ghost sometime.
And he explains that he was able to do some research and find another chain in, I guess, Brazil, I think. And the way that got broken is one of them killed someone else in front of someone's wife, and that saved that person and passed the demon on to someone else. He's like, so that's what you got to do. You got to kill someone, but you got to make in front of another person, but you got to make it
spread
as
the trauma.
Horrific and graphic and gruesome as you can.
Now, see, I don't know what leads him to think that part is necessary. Why not just thinking that has to be killed in front of him?
Maybe he tried it before. Maybe he tried it alone and it didn't go anywhere.
Well, it's at this point after, first off, his freaking out when he finds out that she has the death curse on her.
Yeah.
It's good. But also, why were they so worried about the cop being not right behind her when it pans back and we see they're like completely isolated from each other on the other side of like he's handcuffed to a table and there's like a full glass screen in between the two of them. Like, yeah, she was safe. I made it like it was one of those things where they're casually sitting at a table.
He could have just walked around it.
No, he was handcuffed to the table.
Nah.
He was, because he's trying to get away from her. But this is the part where I said, okay, at this point, she needs to just go full Devon Sawa.
That's what I said
destination.
Too. Yep. Same thought.
Yeah.
Also Fallen.
And Fallen, yes. So now we get, she's talking to the therapist again, we think?
Okay, so
yes.
Hold on. Here's what happens. And here's where I go, I think, because before I thought there's no way you can actually survive this demon once you get it. But because of things the demon is doing, I think there's a chance. So after Tally, she comes home, and in the shot next to the door where the mail is collective, there's an envelope. And on the envelope, it says, "In last chance." Okay? And it's at that point, she gets a call from her psychologist, Madeline. Okay? But she blows it off. So it's like help is reaching out to her. This is your last chance to actually get help and maybe address this somehow. And instead of doing that, she isolates herself and she goes and plays detective in the dining room. Okay? So the demon has pretended to be her sister to scare her away from her sister. So she loses her only source of family support. The demon is going to later take on the form of Madeline. So she scares her away from professional help. The demon is going to make a scary thing when she's at the hospital with her boss to scare her away from the hospital. So the sources of support that she could have got that might have treated her, the demon makes sure she's scared of them to drive her away from them. Whereas if she had used them, treated the trauma, I think she could have survived.
100%. And the internet kind of agrees. That was something else that popped up. A lot of people speculated that as well. Like, that's your last.
This is my original idea. I did not look this up. How dare you?
Oh, I'm not saying you did. I'm saying, like, I had a similar thought, and when I was, doing my little bits of research for the movie and whatnot to talk about, that seemed to be a similar thing, because the director himself said something like, I'm not really sure how you would actually survive it, and I don't remember if it was a quote from him saying that was one of the potentialities, but I do recall reading that as well, and I'm like, oh.
So, Kenny,
nice.
What I'm hearing is that there are other tunnel snakes out there.
And we need to get them here to all go up your tunnel.
Come tunnel with me, tunnel snakes.
Your tunnel is a metaphor for your butt.
Tunnel with me.
It's not a metaphor.
You'll see
it's
a
an
world
anal G.
Ooh.
Anal G. So the therapist, though, she thinks she's talking to her, right?
Later, the therapist shows up. But it turns out to be demon therapist.
Yeah, she gets that shit-eating fucking grin, and on her, like, some of the smiles
and she fucking steps on her furniture.
Yeah, with her shoes on.
I was wondering.
And I'm just over there laughing.
Yeah. How did that couch not tip over?
Well, she's like
walker. A cat.
I was wondering if she was going to go through the couch.
I think it would have been cooler if the couch had tipped over,
or if she was going to walk on it and she walks on it. Yeah, that would have been so cool. But that would have been like a direct interaction with the environment, and that I don't think happens.
Now, I was laughing really hard at this scene because I'm over there. I'm in the head of the demon, the entity at this point, and all I'm thinking is, fucking fooled you again. Oh my god. How many times are you gonna fall for this? What an idiot. You didn't invite me over. You don't remember opening the door and letting me in? What are you stupid? I'm Rose. Fucking, it's me. Of course I'm the demon. Of course I'm the demon.
Of course I am.
Of course I am.
You remember that scene in Alien 3 where the aliens all drooling from its mouth up against Ripley's face.
That's literally my line.
Okay.
Alien drool.
Alien drool. I like it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see it now, but I didn't have that.
That's all I saw.
That had to have been the thought behind that. That's exactly what it was. And now she's really like going off her rocker, and I think she's considering, well, we know she's considering doing what Tally said, killing someone. So she's doing the drag me to hell thing, where she's trying to find a victim that doesn't matter. But here's the thing. She has to find 2 victims that doesn't matter.
That's
she
right.
has to find the person she can kill and the person she can pass it to. There's nobody.
No, there are people. She would just have to get creative with it.
In her life, she doesn't have the obvious, like Christine in Drag Me to Hell has the shitty coworker who's stealing her promotion, all that bullshit. Like, so she's got a potential shitty person in her life. But Rose here, her boss isn't a bad person. She might be annoyed because it's her boss, but he hasn't done anything outwardly, like, wrong.
No, here's what she needed to do. She needed to kill her nephew in front of the husband and the sister. That's a 2-for-1, because they're already fucked up. So
you're right.
That kid's already fucked up.
She should have called them back and said, I'm sorry I ruined the birthday party. We got to do birthday part 2. I've got a different present. It's going to be great.
It's kid in the box.
It's kid in the box,
yeah.
Well, let me borrow the nephew for an afternoon. I'll bring him back.
You'll
back.
Get more
in the box.
More of them to love. It's going to be great.
But then does the sister try to pass it back to her? And then
it's a whole hot potato.
They're just playing like badminton with it.
All been there. So she decides, poor Carl. She's going to go after Carl. And she goes up in there, and Carl's like, hey, man, what are you doing? I'm Carl. Like, what are you doing? And then she pulls out a knife. I mean, some shenanigans happen, so she pulls out a knife after, I think, her boss walks in, and then she starts, like, stabbing Carl in the chest, and I'm like, leave Carl alone. But then they start shouting, and then they start shouting in sequence, like, in sync. They're like, ah! Ah! Ah!
Yeah, they're going, ha, 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 ha.
And then the boss, Cal Penn's over there, like, what are you doing? And then he rips his face off.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, yeah.
And they actually did that.
Yeah, they ripped his real face off. And it turns out there's thoughts on the whole face ripping off thing. And after watching the little short film that inspired this, that I can understand those thoughts. Uh-huh. The demon doesn't fully possess you until you see its actual face. And then...
Okay, that's interesting. I thought... So the demon... There's also a Nightmare on Elm Street element to this, where... So in the remake one, Freddy Krueger is tormenting them, but he's doing it to keep them awake until they get to the point where they're so tired, they go into, like, permanent sleep. You know what I'm saying? So no matter if...
Yeah.
Okay. So the demon is basically breaking her down mentally the same way. And it's only...
100%.
Yeah, it's once face-ripping scene is when he's broken their mind, which is the full invitation to enter their body.
And I'd say that's a pretty standard trope as far as, like, demonic possessions and whatnot go. Like, when we did, My Best Friend's Exorcism, the whole thing for the first half of the movie is isolation and, like, breaking her down before...
I do the same thing whenever I'm getting ready to date someone.
Oh, yeah, you gotta neg them. It's the dentist system.
Isolate, break them down, dentist system, let's go.
I gotcha. Hey, did you notice when Carl was getting stabbed? I don't know if you... Did you laugh at the part where he said, you can't eat carpet, silly daddy?
What?
I might be getting my Carl from Aqua Teen Hunger Force mixed up with this Carl. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure he said it.
You don't need instructions
to know
how to rock.
He doesn't need them. I'm hot-blooded. I got double vision.
Rose, you just be sizzling like fajita meat.
Look.
It should have been Carl from Aqua Teen.
In my head, it always was. Oh, God.
Get your freaks off my lawn.
Carl's fine. Rose was screaming again. She was outside the hospital. Boss, shows up the window, wakes her ass up. Like, what are you doing here, man? Like, go home, dude. I gave you paid time off. People would kill for that. A little PTO. And she's like, okay, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do what Kenny said to do.
Devon Sawa.
I'm going to go back to my trauma house, because no one's there. And I'm going to go to this house. And it's house... What was the house number? It was house number 409. Which at this point, I'd already said 1408, because she keeps having things where she thinks it's actually happening and they're going on for an extended period of time, and then the ghost thing rips it back, like, okay, back in time. So I'm like, all right, 1408.
Oh, okay. I'm with you now.
Well, she gets to the house, and the house number is 409, which also adds up to 13, which was the whole thing with, 1408 adds to 13. Ha, very clever. That's me quoting 1408. That's what John Cusack was like, oh yeah, room 13, ha.
Oh.
So we get there, and we're getting some flashback stuff, and I gotta tell you, put some pants on, Mom. Those are some dingy-ass underwear, and I'm tired of it. If that's Victoria's Secret, she needs to keep it secret.
Because you're always dressed like this. No one wants to come over because this place is just a shithole.
Like, you let us drink, that's cool, but no one wants to drink and see your dingy-ass underwear. What'd you do, buy a pair of white underwear and soak it in tea?
Yeah.
Those are just worn in. That's just sweat. Nursty.
So she's having a real Zelda moment, with the mom on the bed.
Never get out of bed again.
Oh, that's Zelda. I thought she was like Zelda. opening a chest and going, na, trauma.
But pretty much. And then we get, like, fuck you, Mom, I ain't dealing with you. And then we get a whole, like, magic house, like, hallway getting smaller so the mom can look bigger. And it's like, I don't care how tall you get, you gotta still put some pants on.
Okay.
But
hold on.
She gets bigger. And
once she got bigger, Kenny, did you immediately say, Big Mama's house?
I said that's Big Mama's sister. That's what I said. It's big.
I said that, and I was like, I wonder if this is just a big dude that they had to put in panties.
It is.
I hope so.
It is a dude?
It is a dude. They put in panties.
Is he Buffalo Billing it then?
It's gotta be.
Yeah, tuck and move.
They did also make the hallway smaller to make him seem larger. Like they did a practical.
Sure.
Oh, it seems like visual. They didn't need a dude at all then. Seems like they just wanted to put a big dude in panties, which, hey.
We've all been a big dude in panties.
We've all been a big dude in panties.
And look, Big Mama's sister is doing some tackling, doing some grabbing of the rose, and we get a whole bit like, no, you're in my head, and then things like, yeah, I am in your head, you can't run from me. But then she's like, but it's my head. So she gave us I'm not trapped in here with you.
Yeah.
You're trapped in here with me. And then I thought, first time I watched it, the lantern was over there. I thought she was going to, like, put her hand in the fire, like
that's what I thought,
Nightmare on Elm Street, to wake herself up.
Yeah.
But instead, she fucking takes the lantern and shatters that across Big Mama's sister's head. And I said, you wouldn't have caught on fire if you had pants on.
I don't think that's true.
I don't think that's true at all. But, okay, so the scene where she gets the lantern, at this point, I'm trying to figure out, how do I think this movie is going to end? We're at a house where she's all by herself. I'm thinking Fallen. I'm thinking, this is the story of how I almost died. I'm like, I don't think she makes it out of here. What were you guys thinking? How did you think it was going to end before that happened?
Oh, she wasn't making out of this.
She wasn't making it out?
I knew the fucking detective was going to show up and ruin it.
Yeah, he had to show up at some point. Because they always do. You never get to stay in the cabin by yourself.
True.
If she was by herself the whole time, what would have happened?
So
the demon wouldn't have killed her. She would have had to kill herself of her own free will.
Well, it depends, right? Because if the demon takes her over, how much mileage can she get out of the body? Like, can she go on a little walkabout?
I don't think the demon would be able to spread then, right?
Well, it would have to take her somewhere. Every time that we've seen it, the possession, which I'll talk about it after we show her full possession here, the possession happens, like the full possession happens, and then the suicide happens. It's pretty fucking quick.
Except for the gas station footage. We don't know where that guy who takes the big gardening shears and does the ceremonial cutting of the ribbon on himself, we don't know where he came from. We just see him walk in. He could have walked from anywhere.
This is true. He could have been like that dude who finds the Jesus spear in Constantine, where he walks
maybe until like the body gave out.
It's true. But it could also be just a full-on, like, I can kill you whenever, so I'm in full control now. Let me just go find someone with good trauma. Because, I mean, I make a comment here later. I'll go ahead and do it now. Okay, the demon has fun doing this, right? But, like, wouldn't it also be kind of tiring? Like, wouldn't you want to take a quick break? Like, okay, I just last 4 days, I've been sitting here like, really working on this person.
It takes a break during like the first couple of days. It's kind of chill. It pops up like maybe once or twice.
Like, oh, but that still seems like I'm on call. Like, I'm on the clock. I still got to do little things. Otherwise, I can't cram it all into one day.
Yeah, but you're going into the office for like 10 minutes and then you're popping back out.
Yeah, but if I have to go to work at all, my day's ruined.
The thing about demons, they were never human. They don't have our boredom level.
They don't have need.
They don't have that. They don't have that.
It's
stuff.
like an alien.
Look, work is work, and the Demons Union needs to stand up because these guys need some days off.
They live for the work.
Oh, if you love your job, you never work a day in your life.
See, we're working to survive. They're surviving to work.
Hell's a rough place.
Now they love it.
They love it. I wouldn't love it. I don't think.
You might.
So, too easy though, right?
Okay, Kenny.
Hits her with the lantern.
Yeah, I thought once this happened, I'm like, okay, at some point, I'm with you. Joel, the detective, he's not out of this movie yet. He's going to come back and somehow he's going to help save her, is what I thought the ending of this movie was going to be.
He was going to save her?
I did.
I thought he was going to fuck it up.
Well, the movie wanted us to think we were out of the movie, though.
This is where the movie lies to me. I don't think the movie had lied to me before this point.
What did it do?
This is the full 1408.
It used a musical transition to lie to me, because after she sets Big Mama on fire,
she leaves Big Mama and Michael Myers in the basement.
Did it go?
It kind of does. She gets in her car and she's doing that driving, and we see the sun rising, and there's like this thematic transition, uplifting kind of like hymnal sound. But later we find out that's bullshit. We're still in the cabin. So the demon has lied to us, and I'm angry.
I think it would have been better if it had lied to you even more, and if it had gone to credits.
Oh my god! If they had the balls to start rolling, there's been movies that have done that.
I was gonna say
rolled fake credits.
Which Metal Gear game was that? Metal Gear. Oh,
Metal Gear.
You remember where the credits are rolling, but you're still. That might have just been Metal Gear.
You're still running around.
You're still running around trying to. Because it's not over.
So
that might, like in the Psycho Mantis fight, that might have happened in that.
No, the credits of the game are straight up rolling,
and it's
but you're still running around playing.
And it's telling you stop playing. You've won, but you haven't.
That's in 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Metal Gear Solid 2.
She gets out of the house. It's on fire, and she's driving away, and she goes and has interactions with the ex-boyfriend cop, and she's out. And then all of a sudden it starts to crack. And then we're like, oh shit, she's back in. Now, that is the cruelest thing I think that the demon could do. And
yeah, the demon let her live a full another 40 years outside.
That's what I was going to talk about 1408 more. 1408 ended up being my biggest comparison for this movie. He did. When John Cusack gets out, spoilers, when John Cusack gets out of the hotel room in the middle of the movie, he goes back to his seaside house. Like, he goes through all the traveling. He goes and checks his mailbox, like at the post office, a P.O. box. He had days of thinking he was out.
I don't remember, but I think Alan Wake does a similar thing too.
Oh, it might have. I don't remember either, but that sounds vaguely familiar. And then all of a sudden, it pulls him back in, and he is freaking out. He's screaming. He's like, I was out! I was out! I was out! And I'm like, ooh, that's fucking good.
I mean, Samuel L. Jackson told him, though.
He did tell him. He told him, like, that's a scroll room. Room of scrolls. And so I think with what that demon just pulled on her, she needs to just go over there and punch it in the dick.
Well,
it still doesn't have pants on. Give it the old dick twist.
Look.
The old dick twist.
Hey, demons are real. Monsters are real.
Yeah.
That means what, Daniel?
Superpowers.
Punch it in the dick.
Got superpowers. Punch it in the dick.
That's where A-Train comes in.
So, yeah, A-Train will do a dick punch. No doubt. So now we get the demon's laughing. She's broken. It does a nice ass face peel again. But this time it's got multiple, like, jaws. Like, there's multiple
it's got
faces
sharp
in there.
jaws going on, yeah. Like layers of teeth.
It's cool.
Now, people speculate that's just it representing, like, all the souls it's taken. Like, the multiple layered jaws is all the people in there.
No.
Which I'm like, I think this is a cool thing.
I think it just looks cool.
This is the part... This is the shot of the movie, in my opinion.
When he climbs inside her?
It's fucking... The camera pulls back, and then she's sitting there, mouth open, and the thing is, like, bent over. The fire is, like, going, and the lighting on this thing, and it's just, like, yeah, crawling into her mouth. We don't get to see, like a full chompy, distended jaw or anything, but we get the idea.
Yeah.
It's going in there. That's full possession. Now, think about what her mouth is doing, like, in that moment. It's wide open. Now, roll yourself all the way back.
I know where you're going with this. Yeah, all the way back to the very first.
The lady
who rolled in,
killed herself,
and was writhing on the floor, and her mouth all open. Yep, I'm with you.
Yep, that's happening right then. Yep, that's
so.
Her
What
full
if
possession moment.
What if a third party came in and just shut the mouth?
Or like put a popsicle in there.
Anything. Hot dog, duct tape,
balloons,
all the things you have in your car.
Rubber ducky,
zip tie. Oh, the things I have in my car: zip tie, gag, rope,
McDonald's
chains.
wrappers,
Lots of McDonald's wrappers,
aluminum cans,
lots of cans, lots of stuff in his
There's
cars.
actually nothing in my car. Okay.
New car, new Daniel.
New car, new day. Actually, there's a lot of mail.
He's had a lot of new cars though lately.
Yeah.
CopX shows up, and I'm just like, you should just leave, CopX. Just leave.
because he ignores everything she just told him. She told him like this. They at this point, I think they are. Does he know how the demon gets transmitted?
She didn't tell him what the guy in prison said.
Right.
But if he uses his magical detective skills, he'd be able to work it out.
Yeah.
Well, he busts the door in and then can't see Rose until he sees her and she's got his back to him. And then she turns around after she's doused herself with like
Dumping
kerosene.
gas, it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's time
And
to,
Rose is hot.
it's time to make s'mores.
If he had tackled her, knocked the match out of her hand.
Anything. Like, yeah.
If he had just not sat there and watched the entire time, maybe there's a delay. Maybe if you just like see the first 2 seconds of the death, then you're fine.
What
But
if he
no,
just
he
turned
sat
around
there-
and left?
Like, well, okay, problem solved.
Because, like, there's a difference between knowing that someone just burnt themselves alive versus, like, standing there and watching it happen.
Oh, for sure. Also, he's a cop. That might not have been that traumatic to him. Maybe it didn't pass to him.
Oh, it definitely passed to him.
100%.
So here's the thing. I think I had heard rumblings they were going to be moving forward with a sequel. This is the end, by the way. This movie ends with him watching her burn.
Well, no, this movie
You get to
ends.
see the flame in his eyes.
Yes.
I like that. What I didn't
Oh,
like
it's a good shot.
was the music immediately following it, which was lollipop, lollipop, ooh, or something.
Yeah, I didn't really understand
And I'm like,
that.
There was
Look.
a reason for that?
No, it's because we've all seen Jeepers Creepers. Yeah, we get it. What would have been a better musical choice is they do a 180 on us and it go, "This girl is on fire." I think
absolutely.
like something so
Yeah,
on the
would've been
nose.
good.
That would have been hilarious. Better choice.
If that had been her ringtone and her phone just starts ringing.
This oh dang it. We didn't start the fire. What else? What other fire ones? And I set fire to the rain.
Uh-huh.
Watched it burn as Rose fell to the floor. These would have been better, Kenny.
So-
I'm just saying.
I mean, they would have been a little on the nose.
That's what
She
Ken has.
doesn't have a nose anymore. Burnt it off.
It's gone.
That's true. I
Like
should listen to the
Voldemort.
commentary on this. I don't think I own this one actually yet.
It was free on Amazon Prime.
So I think I watched it like on Paramount Plus or Peacock. So there's been rumblings and
Rumblings.
of a sequel. So I think it's you pick up with the detective.
They've awoken what lies beneath in the minds of Moria.
It picks up with the detective who starts off. He's got the full 4 days and more starting knowledge than Rose
That's true. It's
did.
like a roguelike.
It's like a roguelike, yeah. And
Okay.
or think of it like Insidious 2
Yes. Okay.
with
Fine.
Detective so and so. So we get to come at it again.
That's not Insidious. That's Sinister.
Sorry, Sinister 2. Sorry, my bad. I just seen the new Insidious, so that was in my head. Sinister 2. So I would watch that. You can get deeper into the lore of the entity at this point because we
If
know
they
there is an
did it-
entity.
Like Sinister 2, where they turn it into a comedy for some reason.
Okay, there are some comedic elements, sure.
Are you talking about? Are you defending Sinister 2?
I love Sinister 2.
That would be
It's
funny.
a comedy.
It's great.
I don't know why they made it a comedy. I don't know why. Maybe maybe we can discuss that during our Sinister 2 pod.
We should. The snuff films were still good. The cast was great, but also it's hard to take Detective So-and-so seriously because, well, he's just a funny guy.
Sure.
Ryan, you seen those movies?
I've seen Sinister. In my head right now, I'm just thinking like a sequel to Smile. So would you have like two smiles, but you put them together, and that would look like a mustache. And so you could go Smile 2, the mustache.
I don't think they can do the mustache because the cat's name was Mustache.
Yeah, but that's why you do it. The cat is controlling everything, Daniel.
Cats do control everything. They are aliens from another world.
Okay, I found the thing I was looking for. The reason they use lollipop as the song there is because they referred to the entity as Lollipop. I'm guessing like while they were filming or whatever, that's what they called it. So they decided just to.
So they put in a joke for themselves?
Yes.
So maybe you take that out, for your theatrical run.
People like to do the whole, like, this horrific thing just ended, so we just put on a totally tonally different song.
Jeepers Creepers. Yeah, got it. But it worked in Jeepers Creepers. It doesn't work here, because Lollipop has no connection to this movie.
But Jeepers Creepers...
Where'd you get those peepers? Jeepers Creepers.
That's the whole thing.
Where'd you get those eyes? I mean, it's so perfect.
That song might as well have been written for the movie, even though the movie, it's the other way around.
So what you're saying, Ryan, is as a person, you prefer the writer-director of Jeepers Creepers more than of Smile.
I feel like you're
trap card,
leading
Ryan.
me into
This
a trap.
Is a trap card.
I don't know what this trap is,
Ryan.
but I can feel it.
He's a pedophile.
Oh.
He did time, Ryan. He did time. That man wrote Powder and directed Powder.
He did time, and then he did Powder. That's a fun fact.
He did time for kiddie stuff, and then he had a scene in Jeepers Creepers 2 where the creeper licked the school bus full of children.
Do you know Roman Polanski's still making films?
Yeah.
Do you know people are still acting in them? You know he still has an active warrant?
Yeah, he can't come back to the States.
Oh, yeah, Hollywood's a weird place.
I mean, what's the other guy? Woody Allen? Woody Allen? There's all that stuff back and forth on that. People still...
But Woody Allen, he married his stepdaughter, right?
Yeah.
Love can bloom on the battlefield. I don't see why it can't bloom.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you for taking the attention off of me.
Yeah. So you guys like this movie? We discussed that?
I liked it.
I like it, but I'm with you. I'm not going to watch this every year. Maybe.
I would be very curious what they do with a sequel if they do the sequel.
I would watch a sequel. It was a good movie. I'm glad I watched it. It didn't live up to all the major hype train. It gets
I thought it was better than Megan. And those two came out around the same time, right?
They're not too terribly far off, yeah.
I think didn't this also come out around the same time as Barbarian?
Yes.
Well, it's not
Barbarian was obviously better.
It's not better than...
So we'll do this... Oh, this isn't... Barbarian is a movie I'll watch.
Oh, of course.
Every year.
Barbarian's a movie.
Every fucking year.
That's a movie.
That's so good. So I'm not going to
tell you... commentary over the movie.
Our most popular episode. I'm not going to tell you how many stars it got. I want to hear what you guys think it got and what you think it should get, and then I'll tell you. Out of 10.
Okay. I think it got... Okay, it's a genre movie, so I have to go lower than what I would normally do. So I think it got...
But it did have a big hype train.
I think it got 7.
It was in the zeitgeist.
It's a genre movie with a hype train, and it's not elevated horror like Hereditary, but it feels like it's almost going there with all the mental health. So I think it got a 6.
Yeah, if you pay attention to the actual thoughts on trauma through this and dealing with your shit, it's a big subject. So it's slightly elevated. You said 6, Ryan. You said 7.
Yes.
I mean, you guys are near the money. It's 6.5.
Okay.
Yeah. So what do you guys give it?
Well, I didn't have any shark.
That's true. But okay,
or
everybody got paid.
Or half sharks breathing on the moon. But okay,
everybody got paid.
Absolutely,
the camera was in focus.
Paid, focus.
We could hear everything, which is actually negative because some of the sounds Ryan didn't like.
That's true.
I didn't like all the sounds.
What are the others?
I didn't fall asleep.
I didn't fall asleep.
I was entertained.
That's 5. We're at 5 stars.
I don't think I need a new category.
Well, we don't need a new category, but there was a cat in a box, so that's 6 stars.
Oh, God. All right. Yeah, I did have dead cat in a box. So I guess, 6.
6? You're just a flat 6 for that?
Okay, so Barbarian made me go, wow. Hereditary made me go, wow. This movie does not make me go, wow.
So 6, you saying average?
Sure. Why not?
5 would be average.
4 to 6 is your...
average,
this ain't no
fucking IGN review scale. We're using the whole thing.
Okay, what do you give it, Daniel?
6.
6?
I think he already said that.
Well, he might have. I think I might be kind of in line with where our IMDb settled on this, around a 6.5 or a 7. It's good, not great.
Very brave of you.
Yeah. That's so brave.
So brave.
Well, they're not normally... I think this is the closest they've ever been to what I thought.
Okay.
There are parts of it that are, There are shots. There are things that are 10s in this. The head dangly is a 10.
Head dangly's good. Yeah.
The cast. I think the cast kills it in this.
I thought A-Train was a little weird.
Well, it's because we're literally only used to seeing him as A-Train. Like, that is, to us, that is all he is.
I thought his delivery, I don't know.
Their whole relationship felt weird. Like, they were in trouble before.
That might have been the weirdness I was picking up on.
And you know, relationship stuff makes you uncomfortable. I get that.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
I get that. Even if she didn't get, like, an entity, I don't think they were going to make it. It definitely wasn't as good as a relationship between the
do you
main
think
character and her husband.
She had been breaking glasses before any of this happened?
Oh, yeah. Hella glasses.
And that's why he's just like, stop!
He keeps trying to get, like, those plastic wine cups, and she won't have it.
Yeah, because it's not classy.
I'm not drinking box wine out of a plastic wine glass.
Well,
Thank you very much.
the trick is you drink box wine out of a soda can.
Yes, that's right. That's the trick. Oh, gosh. So we've mentioned already the movies, so I guess we can mention it again. What should you watch? You like this, or even, you know, maybe you don't like this, but you like an idea behind this. So what should you watch? I mean, how do you feel about It Fallen?
It Follows, obviously.
I said, do you like It Follows, Ryan?
I think It Follows is better. Easily.
I think so.
Yeah, It Follows didn't have as many
It also had a big hype train,
right?
But that was coming out of, like, the film festival scene. It Follows is the direct one-to-one thing a lot of people would say. That's the low-hanging fruit. Fallen's good. I really think 1408, if you like someone really being psychologically fucked with.
If you like that aspect, and throw in Oculus for that as well.
What would the name
Oculus.
Of the Fear and Magnus archives that goes with this be?
Grief, trauma?
No, so it'd be one for the Spiral.
Oh, yeah.
Is it weird that I can pull that out really quickly?
I was thinking about that the entire time.
Did you finish that?
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
I would have
last season.
I would interview them.
They'd probably do it. They don't have, you know, their story. I don't even know what they kind of do now.
I thought they were doing a Magnus prequel.
And they've still got their RPG thing, right?
And they've got some of those going, but I don't listen to those because, you know.
You're not a nerd.
Well, that's the competition.
You watch his anime.
That's right. I mean, go do the Magnus archives if you want a good listen, for sure. A lot of people didn't seem to love the last season. I still liked it.
I haven't.
Daniel has.
You got to get up on that, Daniel.
Got to get up on it. Do we have any games? Alan Wake?
Maybe. If that thing even happens.
Yeah, but it's also a good psychological mindfuck thing. The Evil Within games, maybe.
Silent Hill.
Sure.
Good mindfucks there. Probably a lot of the ones where you can't fight back or anything, like the straight up
I would say Deadly Premonition, you know?
Oh, if you want to get a little wacky with it, sure.
It's just a good time.
Deer head on the wall, swaying back and forth time.
Your Outlast, possibly.
Maybe Amnesia.
More Amnesia. What are those ones that Ryan played a lot of that he bought like a whole series of?
Penumbra,
that's the one. You knew the one I was thinking. Do you feel like Penumbra would work? Puzzle Agent.
Puzzle Agent for sure. Matchstick puzzles all over the place. It'll drive you mad.
This is what a true detective is.
This is a real man. Well, if you're smiling at this point, that's good. You should hit like and subscribe and make your kids like and subscribe. Because kids know people. You take them to their birthday party and you interact with the parents, and those kids, every kid has a phone now. You get on that kid's phone, you go in there, you follow, you subscribe, you go ahead and play a few episodes for them. They'll love it. Kids love us, and we love kids. Wait, yeah. And if you love us, then stay tuned for tomorrow's episode.
What's it gonna be?
The House of the Devil.
Oh,
House of the Devil!
Director that we've done before this month twice. This
will be the third.
This will be the third Ty West film of the month.
It will be the third time. Well, we didn't release them. Those came out in August and September.
Oh,
we fucked that up, didn't we?
It's all blurring together.
This will be the third Ty West film of the month,
or as I pronounce it, T.I. West.
Or as I pronounced it, to West.
So, as always, I've been your horrible little trauma demon, Kenny.
I'm your bad detective, Daniel. Not bad like, ooh, he's bad, but like I'm bad at my job.
Like not good cop, bad cop, you're just a bad, like...
I'm just bad at my job.
I've been the corpse tongue that just wants to lick an eyeball, Ryan.
Put some pants on. We'll see you next time.